In the next 2 hours, Archangel Michael will strike. The thief who tried to rob your destiny. They moved in silence. They whispered in secret. They plotted without pause, thinking no one saw. But heaven has watched it all. And now, within the next 2 hours, the heavens have issued a decree. The warrior of God, Archangel Michael, is descending with divine fire. This is not a message for the masses. This is not for the curious or the casual. This word is for the chosen. For those who have felt the press of invisible hands around their destiny. For those who have watched doors shut with no explanation. For those who have felt the strange pull in their spirit, like something holy is about to break open. Yes, this is your moment. Archangel Michael, the blazing sword bearer, the defender of God's will, hath been dispatched. A divine intervention is now active in your atmosphere, but only for those with ears to hear and eyes to see. Something was stolen. Perhaps you didn't even notice it at first. Perhaps you gave them trust, love, access. Perhaps you thought they were for you. But deep in the silence, something shifted. And heaven, in its perfect justice, has waited for this window. Within the next 2 hours, a spiritual reckoning will unfold. You are being called into stillness. Not fear, stillness. Into listening. Into readiness. Into divine posture. Because this message is not simply a warning, it is an invitation. The kind of invitation heaven only gives once in a generation. The thief who moved in darkness is about to meet the light of divine retaliation. They thought they got away with it, but heaven saw. Heaven judged. Heaven responded. This is not the time to speak carelessly. This is not the time to act out of emotion. This is the moment to still your soul, sharpen your spirit, and listen. For within the next 2 hours, Archangel Michael will strike. Type I receive divine justice if this word is yours. Blessing code 4040 is surrounding your house. In the sacred silence of this moment, the heavens have issued a summons. The angelic hosts have stirred. The gates of the unseen realm have opened. And leading heaven's charge is none other than Archangel Michael, the captain of the Lord's army, the sword-bearer of divine justice, the protector of destinies. And he is not moving without cause. He is not descending without command. He has been sent for you. Within the next 2 hours, something will shift. It may begin in silence. It may begin in a dream. It may erupt in clarity. But it will come, swift, precise, undeniable. This is a divine interruption, a spiritual override. What was stolen in the dark shall be exposed in the light. What was whispered in secret shall be shouted from the rooftops. What was plotted against you shall now be plundered by heaven itself. There hath been a great war for your destiny. You may not have seen it, but you felt it. The fatigue that made no sense. The strange delays. A sudden coldness of once closed people. The doors that creaked open only to slam shut again. You thought it was just life, but it was a war. A war for your legacy. A war for your identity. A war for the promise heaven placed over your life before you took your first breath. Hear me now, chosen soul. You were marked for greatness, and they saw it. The adversaries saw the light in you, the call on you, the glory rising in your spirit. And so the thief came, widely, subtly, disguised as friend, mentor, opportunity. But Archangel Michael has drawn his sword because the alarm had been sounded in the heavens. God has said enough. And now, the defender is en route. This is not mere superstition. This is not fear-mongering. This is a prophetic activation. Not everyone will feel it, but if your spirit is burning right now, if your heart is pounding, if you know without knowing how you know that this word is for you, then it is. This is your moment. This is your confirmation. This is your awakening. The atmosphere is charged with angelic interference. The veil is thin. The sword is drawn. You are not crazy. You are not paranoid. You are not broken. You are under divine surveillance and divine defense. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Heaven already ruled in your favor. And so, I speak this directly to your spirit. Prepare. Prepare in silence. Prepare in surrender. Prepare in expectancy. For within the next 2 hours, there will be a shift. It will not be loud, but it will be powerful. You will feel it in your bones. You will sense it in your environment. Your angels are ready. The sword has been drawn, and the thief will pay. Type "I am covered by heaven" in the comments to activate this protection. Blessing code 7227 is now with you. They watch you, not with admiration but with intent. Not to celebrate, but to calculate. Someone, somewhere, plotted while smiling in your face. They traced your steps not to support you, but to sabotage you. And the strangest part, you felt it. You didn't want to admit it. You tried to shake it off. But something in your spirit kept pressing. Something was off. You trusted. You gave access. You allowed presence. And in return, you received absence, betrayal, and confusion. Suddenly, the energy shifted. People who once called you daily grew cold. Conversations became shallow. Enthusiasm turned to silence. Their presence remained, but their loyalty left. You were being monitored, not uplifted. And so you began to question yourself. What did I do wrong? Why is everything stalling? Why does it feel like every plan dies halfway through? You prayed. You fasted. You aligned. But it felt like someone pulled a spiritual curtain over your life. Doors closed. Dreams dried up. Hope turned heavy. But hear this now, it was never you. It was them. And it was timed. Because heaven was watching. You were not abandoned. You were observed. The odd behaviors you couldn't explain. The envious glances masked as compliments. The support that vanished the moment your breakthrough drew near. That was sabotage, spiritual manipulation cloaked in friendly robes. But now, the exposure begins. This message is not meant to break you. It is meant to awaken you. Your confusion wasn't foolishness. It was prophetic. You felt the dissonance in your soul because your spirit knew what your mind didn't. You wrestled with it in silence. But now, it's coming into the light. This thief, whether a person, a group, a force, they don't realize it yet, but heaven has already released a counterattack. The sword of Archangel Michael is not just a symbol, it is judgment, swift and supernatural. What was taken from you must return. What was locked away must be released. What was whispered in dark corners will echo in the courts of heaven. Do not second-guess your discernment anymore. Do not apologize for your clarity. Do not retreat from your intuition. They tried to disrupt your flow because they feared your rise. They saw the crown on your head before you did. But now you see. Now you know. Now you are awake. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, You can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. They wouldn't have targeted you if you weren't chosen. They wouldn't have marked you if heaven hadn't first marked you. You were never random. You were never ordinary. And the warfare you've been enduring is not punishment. It's confirmation. Confirmation that you carry a weight in the spirit realm. Confirmation that your very presence provokes the enemy because your future threatens every lie the adversary built. The conflict wasn't about your now, it was about your next. The enemy never attacks where there is no oil. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't about to rise. The pressure you felt, the attacks you face, the confusion you've walked through, all of it is evidence. Evidence that your name is known in the spirit realm. Evidence that the darkness trembled when you started walking in the direction of your purpose. Listen closely. They wouldn't have tried to sabotage you if your destiny wasn't sacred. They wouldn't have whispered against you if your voice didn't carry divine volume. They wouldn't have moved in manipulation if your presence didn't carry divine light. You've been under fire because you've been carrying favor. You've been misunderstood because you were always meant to be set apart. You were not created to blend in. You were chosen to rise. And sometimes heaven permits the sabotage, not to destroy you, but to develop you. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. The betrayal, the rejection, the silence, the loss, it wasn't for your destruction. It was your spiritual awakening. The battle came because your blessing was bigger than what you were settling for. The silence came to strip away your dependence on people who could not carry the weight of your next season. The sabotage was allowed so that you could be reborn. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are becoming. Becoming what heaven always intended. Becoming what hell always feared. Becoming the version of you that doesn't seek validation from what's behind but steps into what's ahead with confidence. And every single arrow that was fired your way has now become fuel for your elevation. Heaven has watched every plot. Heaven recorded every word spoken against you. Heaven has seen the meetings, the mockery, the manipulation. And nothing is hidden from divine justice. Not one seed of sabotage was planted without heaven noticing. And now, it will not go unaddressed. You were never disqualified. You were being distinguished. That pain, it was proof. That delay, it was design. That heartbreak, it was heaven breaking what was beneath you so you could reach what was ahead of you. This was all a divine setup, not for your fall, but for your rise. And now the heavens are clearing the smoke. The sword is being drawn. The judgment is being rendered. And the next move belongs to God. Type "I am rising" for a reason in the comments. Blessing code 1881 is igniting your purpose. There has been a disturbance in the spirit. A line has been crossed. A sacred boundary has been breached. Someone touched what heaven consecrated. Someone reached for your inheritance with polluted hands. And now, they have triggered a divine retaliation. In the next 72 hours, heaven will respond. Not maybe, not eventually. It is certain. This is a warning, not to frighten, but to foretell. A celestial counterstrike has already been dispatched. And the one who dared to tamper with your calling will now face what it means to touch what God protected. They touched your destiny, and in doing so, they provoked the host of heaven. Understand this clearly. The pressure you've been feeling, it wasn't just emotional, it was spiritual. The weight pressing against your life, the strange resistance, the blocked breakthroughs, They were all signs. Something, someone, somewhere initiated warfare in the unseen realm. But they miscalculated. They underestimated what it means to come against the chosen of the Lord. And now the tables are turning. The one who smiled at you while speaking curses behind your back, they are about to be exposed. The one who feigned innocence while orchestrating spiritual sabotage, their covering is about to be stripped. Heaven is no longer silent. The angels are no longer waiting. The sword of Michael is not ceremonial. It is active. And it will strike with divine authority. They thought they were safe. They thought their manipulation would stay hidden. But what they didn't know is that while they moved in shadow, the light was watching. What they didn't realize is that your life is sealed, covered in covenant. They lit a match near what God called sacred. And now the fire of heaven will answer. This isn't your battle to fight. It is not yours to expose. You have been instructed to remain still, because heaven's justice doesn't miss. You will not need to raise a hand. You will not need to speak a word. In silence, you will watch the reversal begin. In silence, you will witness the vindication unfold. Your job is to stay ready. Stay pure. Stay positioned. Because as justice falls on one side, elevation will rise on the other, and you will be carried by the wind of that reversal. Everything they meant to break you will now make you. Everything they cursed will now be blessed sevenfold. The shift has begun. Type divine justice is here in the comments. Blessing code 7474 is commanding your vindication. Now is not the time to react. Now is the time to respond in spirit. Not every battle is won with noise. Not every war is answered with fire from your hands. Some victories are born in stillness. Some triumphs come through silence. This is one of those moments. Do not move impulsively. Do not speak prematurely. Do not fight with the flesh. For what is happening in the unseen can only be secured by stillness in the seen. The instruction from heaven is clear. Silence is your sword. Peace is your power. Stillness is your strategy. The thief came in confusion, but you will remain in clarity. You are not to confront. You are not to explain. You are not to chase closure from those who never intended to understand you in the first place. Let them talk. Let them twist. Let them misunderstand. You are not there anymore. You are above it. Archangel Michael has taken position. He stands as a wall of fire around your life, round your purpose, round your name. The same name they tried to tarnish will now carry divine weight. The same reputation they sought to ruin will now be restored with honor. But not because you fought back. No, because you stood still. Silence, in this hour, is your protection. Do not post about it. Do not call them out. Do not plead your case in human courts. You have already won in heaven's courtroom. Let the angels handle it now. Let the host of heaven execute the judgment that has already been written. While you rest, angels war. While you pray, angels position. While you watch, angels reveal. And here is your divine instruction. Get into position. Shut the door. Light the candle. Turn off the phone. Put your feet on the ground and declare, I am covered. I am untouchable. I am called. Say it until it echoes through the spirit realm. Speak it until your fear shatters. You do not need to chase justice. Justice is chasing you. Your refuge is in your restraint. Your strength is in your silence. The enemy expects your outburst to disappoint them. They are waiting for your breakdown. Deny them. They assumed you'd crumble. Instead, rise in stillness. not with a roar, but with a calm that terrifies the enemy more than any scream ever could. Because this is a divine stillness. A stillness filled with strategy. A stillness filled with fire. A stillness born from trust. And while the world misunderstands your quiet, heaven knows exactly what it means. Obedience. Reverence. Readiness. You are not inactive. You are instructed. And those who move by divine instruction never move in vain. So retreat, not in fear, but in power. Withdraw, not to hide but to ascend. Take your silence seriously. It is not passivity. It is prophecy in motion. Your silence is a sound in the spirit realm that tells every demonic force, I no longer operate from pain. I operate from power. Heaven is defending you. Do not interrupt the divine process with human noise. Do not sabotage angelic movement with fleshly reactions. Stay hidden. Stay holy. Stay held. This is not a call to weakness. This is a call to spiritual warfare at its highest level. A war where heaven fights for you because your destiny is too great to be entangled in drama. Type I am untouchable in the comments. Blessing code 5656 is cloaking you in divine stillness. They underestimated you, but so did you. They thought you would break, and maybe for a moment you believed it too. They thought you would disappear, and maybe, in your silence, you felt like you had. But here you were, still breathing, still rising, still moving. They forgot that what heaven builds cannot be broken. But so did you, until now. This is the moment where you realize you are not weak. You are not wounded. You are not a victim of the plot. You are the proof that purpose can outlive every attack. You were not created to merely survive betrayal. You were designed to rise from it like fire from ashes. The ones who thought they buried you are about to witness your resurrection. This pain did not end you. It transformed you. It chiseled away everything that no longer fit your calling. It removed the crutches. It refined the character and deepened the discernment. You thought the breaking was your end, but it was the birth of a greater version of you. You are no longer just enduring. You are becoming. You are becoming the weapon. You are becoming the answer. You are becoming the light. Visualize it now, your wings unfolding. You're not just rising, you're flying. The places you once crawled through in fear, you now soar above in freedom. What once intimidated you now looks small from heaven's height. Your vision has changed. Your altitude has changed. Your identity has changed. Your scars, they are not shameful. They are sacred. Each one tells the story of a battle that didn't defeat you but crowned you. Your silence wasn't weakness. It was the sound of power being born. And now, your voice returns, not as a cry of pain, but as a trumpet of power. This empowerment is not arrogance. It is awareness. You are aware of who you are. A chosen one. A carrier of glory. A marked vessel. Heaven did not bring you this far to leave you bound. The sword was drawn not just to fight for you, but to remind you of who you are. So walk differently. Speak differently. Show up with fire in your eyes and destiny in your steps. You are not the same. You are not less than. You are not behind. You are ahead, because you didn't just survive the sabotage, you transformed through it. Your identity is no longer tied to the trauma. It is tied to the triumph. You are stepping into a dimension where your very existence speaks authority. Your name holds weight. Your presence shifts rooms. Your past no longer defines you. Your calling does. You carry heaven, And everything about you, from your posture to your purpose, now reflects the royalty you were always born to walk in. Type "I am transformed by fire" in the comments. Blessing code 3030 is unlocking your royal identity. This wasn't random. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't just life being hard. This was spiritual. This was precise. This was planned, not by man but by heaven. What happened to you wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to unlock you. The betrayal, the pain, the delay, it was heaven's way of positioning you. It was heaven's way of removing false foundations so your real calling could rise. You've been asking, why me? Why now? Why this? And now, the prophetic answer comes like thunder through your soul, because this was your unlocking. This was your moment of becoming. This was your divine exchange. What you lost was not punishment, it was preparation. What you cried over was not the end, it was the doorway. The loss you thought would break you was actually the key to your legacy. Heaven could not release your next level while your spirit was still connected to what was beneath you. And so, the sword fell. The veil lifted. A shaking came, not to confuse you, but to separate you. Separate you from people who were not qualified to walk with you. Separate you from environments that could not contain you. Separate you from identities that no longer matched your spiritual DNA. This was not rejection. This was redirection. And now, the prophetic revelation breaks through like dawn. You are being moved into a divine unveiling. Heaven waited for this moment. Not because you were behind, but because divine timing had to align with your inner readiness. What you thought was a delay was actually defense. God blocked the blessing until you were whole enough to carry it. He withheld the next chapter until the sabotage could no longer follow you in secret. The battle wasn't about who left you. It wasn't about what they said. It wasn't about what didn't happen. The battle was about your name. Your real name. The name written in heaven. The name hell feared. And now, it is being released. There's a wind of recognition moving in the spirit. Your name is being spoken in rooms you've never entered. Your essence is being summoned to tables you thought were out of reach. They thought they blocked you. But they didn't know. They built you. Every attack sharpened your discernment. Every wound refined your prayer life. Every betrayal lifted you into intimacy with heaven. And now, heaven is ready to reveal you. A version of you that couldn't be manipulated. The version of you that knows the voice of God. The version of you that walks in divine authority. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You were hidden for divine preservation. But the hiding season is ending. The revealing is here. The same ones who walked away will watch as you are elevated. The same ones who whispered will witness your release. You will no longer have to explain your calling. Your fruit will do the talking. The delay was a shield. The silence was a woo. The warfare was a gateway. You have walked through fire, and now you will walk in favor. You have endured the night, and now morning breaks with an announcement. The chosen has been prepared. The seal is open. The unveiling has begun. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "My name is being released" in the comments. Blessing code 1144 is unlocking divine recognition over your life. Now is the time. Now is the moment. The wait is over. The shaking has passed. The battle has served its purpose. This is not just about survival. This is about activation. Heaven is not calling you to crawl anymore. Heaven is calling you to stand, to walk, to move boldly. You were not just spared. You were stationed. And now the command goes forth. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Your destiny is not a far-off dream. It is a now reality. It is knocking. It is roaring. It is pressing against the gates of your current life, demanding entrance. And you must open the door with holy fire in your voice. I rise. I receive. I reclaim. Say it aloud. Say it with conviction. Say it until your environment trembles. This is your spiritual alignment. This is your yes to heaven. The thief came to kill, steal, and destroy, but he failed. Because what he didn't know is that your purpose was anchored in eternity. Your calling cannot be canceled. Your inheritance cannot be hijacked. And now, the moment has come where you must not just believe in your destiny, you must activate it. No more hesitation. No more fear. No more waiting for permission. Heaven already approved you. The signs are about to follow. Within the next 24 to 48 hours, you will begin to notice divine confirmations. It may come in a message. It may come in a dream. It may come in supernatural peace. But it will come. You were never stuck, you were stationed. Stationed for release. Stationed for instruction. Stationed for transformation. And now, the gates are open. This is the hour to move forward, to say yes to that vision, to step into that calling, to forgive radically, to cut ties with anything God has not assigned, to walk with boldness. Your obedience in this moment will multiply like never before. This is exponential season. This is acceleration season. What took others years will take you weeks. What was once blocked will now be opened on command. You are not moving alone. Angels are walking with you. Favor is running ahead of you. Grace is wrapping around you. This is divine propulsion. You are not being pushed from the earth. You are being pulled by heaven. Your steps are ordered. Your doors are anointed. Your name is favored. Declare this aloud now, wherever you are. I rise. I receive. I reclaim. I will not go back. I will not shrink. I will not question my crown. Say it until your doubt flees. Say it until your spirit explodes in fire. Because this is the activation that every delay was waiting for. And now that you've said yes, watch what happens next. Type I reclaim my destiny in the comments. Blessing code 8181 is now activating your forward movement. You did not see it, but it happened. You did not hear it, but it was spoken. You were sleeping. You were weeping. You were wrestling with confusion, but something powerful was unfolding in the unseen. While you felt forgotten, heaven was busy. While you cried in silence, angels were pleading your case in the courts of the Most High. What you thought was inactivity was actually divine negotiation. You felt the pressure, but behind the pressure, there was a plan. There was a silent exchange, a heavenly transaction. Your name was mentioned. Your case was brought before the throne. Every betrayal, every false accusation, every stolen opportunity, every manipulated moment, it was not ignored. It was not overlooked. It was gathered, presented, and judged. And heaven ruled in your favor. Your inheritance had been intercepted. The enemy thought he had won. He thought confusion would keep you stuck. He thought shame would silence you. He thought delay would make you quit. But while he plotted in darkness, heaven prepared the reversal in light. While he rejoiced over what looked like your collapse, heaven was rewriting your chapter with glory. This was not your downfall. This was your divine court case, and heaven stood on your side. The angels gathered. The records were laid out. The truth was spoken. Your tears became testimony. Your silence became your shout. Your surrender became your defense. You didn't even have to speak. Your pain spoke for you. Your faith in the fire moved heaven's heart. And the verdict was this: release them. Restore them. Reposition them. This is why you felt the stirring. This is why the atmosphere feels different. This is why you've been having strange dreams, feeling emotional waves, and sensing shifts you can't explain. Your spirit knows something has changed. Because it has. Your breakthrough did begin today. It began in that silent courtroom when heaven overruled hell's plans. And now, you are walking into the manifestation of what was already decided in secret. That sense of tension, that sudden clarity, a deep pull in your soul. It's all evidence that something was exchanged. You gave up old attachments. You released your own timeline. You surrendered the bitterness. And in that moment, heaven responded. You didn't lose, you traded. You traded pain for power. You traded sorrow for strength. You traded confusion for clarity. And the Spirit of God marked it. You may not have heard the gavel fall, but it did. You may not have seen the scroll open, but it did. You may not have witnessed the fire surround your name, but your enemies did. They felt it. That's why they've gone silent. That's why they can't look you in the eyes. That's why the very people who tried to bury you now tremble when you walk in the room. Because they sense what you now carry, divine authority born from secret warfare. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your glow. You don't need to convince anyone of your comeback. What happened in the spirit is more powerful than any apology, any validation, any applause. Because what you carry now cannot be faked, fabricated, or manipulated. It was born in the fire. It was sealed in heaven. And it's about to erupt in your life in visible, undeniable, unshakable ways. This is the silent exchange that rewrote your story. Not with noise, not with drama, but with heaven's ink. And now, you carry the signature of the Spirit upon your life. Type "I receive my divine exchange" in the comments. Blessing code 2929 is sealing your spiritual reversal. Justice is coming, not by man's hand, but by heaven's order. You waited. You wept. You've watched others rise who tried to ruin you. But now the scales are shifting. The tables are turning. The thief is being summoned, not for conversation but for restitution. What was taken must now be returned sevenfold. This is not a request. This is a spiritual law in motion. What was stolen in silence will now return in supernatural force. This is divine reversal. This is where the laughter of your enemies will be silenced. This is where those who mocked your silence will tremble at your sound. The same mouths that cursed you will now witness your crowning. The same hands that tried to destroy you will now be powerless to stop your rise. Because heaven has ruled, and the judgment is clear. My child shall be restored. You didn't lose it, you were preserved. You weren't overlooked, you were hidden. You weren't rejected, you were redeemed. Everything they tried to make you feel is now returning upon their own heads. Not because you wish them harm, but because spiritual law demands balance. What they meant for evil, God has turned for good. Not someday, not eventually. Now, you felt the buildup. attention, the sense of divine momentum. That wasn't anxiety. It was spiritual power gathering, waiting for release. That better. It wasn't depression. It was the weight of glory being forged in your atmosphere. And now, the release is here. Everything that looked like loss is being reversed into gain. Everything that looked like a dead end is becoming a gateway. Everything that looked like shame is becoming honor. This is not just restoration. This is exaltation. You will be elevated above what tried to destroy you. Your influence will increase. Your voice will carry new power. Your presence will intimidate the very ones who once ignored you. And not because you sought revenge, but because you chose righteousness. This is divine vindication. This is the justice that comes when heaven fights. This is what happens when you keep your heart clean and your hands lifted. Now, the judgment has been executed. Now, the thief must pay. And now, you step into what was always yours, but with more grace, more power, and more glory than you could have imagined. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $50. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "The Thief Must Repay" in the comments. Blessing code 9999 is commanding justice over your life. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. Chosen for such a time as this. Chosen not because you were perfect, but because your heart remained open, even when it was broken. Chosen not because of your strength, but because you kept showing up, even in your weakness. And now, as this divine message comes to its end, the heavens declare a final word over your life. It is time to rise. This message wasn't sent to entertain you. It was sent to awaken you. It wasn't crafted for the masses. It was breathed out for the remnant. For those whose spirit trembles with recognition. For those who know this is more than emotion. This is activation. And if you have heard this message and your soul stirred, then you are one of the few. You are one of the called. You are one of the warriors that Archangel Michael now surrounds. May the sword of Michael protect you from every unseen assault. May the fire of heaven encircle your home. May every whisper of the enemy be silenced by the roar of divine justice. May the plans that were designed to destroy you now become platforms to display God's power through you. You are being sealed. You are being seen. You are being sent. Sent into the world not as who you were, but as who you really are. A storm walker. A cycle breaker. A destiny reclaimer. You are not walking out of this word empty-handed. You are walking out with clarity, with peace, with confidence, with angelic backing that has already been activated on your behalf. So let it be settled now. Let the final word be spoken over your spirit. You are no longer a victim of the theft. You are the vessel of heaven's vengeance. You are no longer questioning your path. You are moving with divine direction. You are no longer hidden. You are heralded by heaven itself. Now go. Go with boldness. Go with faith. Go with fire. And remember this. What was sent to break you has only made you more unstoppable. Your destiny is protected. Your name is sealed. Your purpose is ignited. Type "I reclaim my destiny" in the comments if you receive this. Blessing code 777 is closing the gate behind you and opening the door ahead. Now rise, chosen one. The thief has been judged. A sword has been drawn, and the heavens are watching you walk into your victory.